Hey, this is Lady, and today I'm here to do a quick book chat on a few books and talk about what I am currently reading. So first off, let me talk about what I am currently reading. I am currently reading 2 books. The first one is In the Shadow of the Banyan. I'm only 75 pages into this book. So far, it is really good. This book takes place in 1975 Cambodia. This regime that I cannot pronounce the name of takes over and just really uproots this family, and this family has to adjust. The part I am in now, they have been forced out of their home. They've seen people killed, and now they don't know what's going to happen next. I read up on this regime that took over, and they had these radical thoughts and ideas about things when it comes to, I want to say they may have been communist, share the wealth. They were definitely against the wealthy, and it was just horrible. And from my research, the things I read, the country, the Cambodia, has not recovered yet, and this was 1975, and the regime was in power to 1979. Second book I am reading, I'm about 70 odd pages into it as well, and that is Octavia Butler, Parable of the Talents. This is book 2. I've talked about this so many times. If you don't know, this book, well, I can't really talk about it because it's a book 2. So yeah, it's so far so good. One of my 2017 goals was to do more book chats, to not just do hauls, to not just tell you what I'm reading, but after I actually finish, talk about the books. So I've noticed I've done kind of okay with that. Most of them are just brief chats that I do. And that's just how I feel most comfortable doing. First up was the Book of Phoenix. All of these are library books. I only have 2 of them with me to show. The Book of Phoenix, I gave it around 2.5, 3 stars. It is a prequel to Who Fears Death. I enjoyed Who Fears Death way more. This book is about Phoenix, who is a specimen, who is raised in this tower in New York City. She has been alive only 2 years, but in her 2 years of living, she has aged to that of a woman that's 40 years old. And she has, in these 2 years, she's seen a lot, but only in this tower. Well, some things happen. She found out about the experiments that's being done on people and all those type of things. She's not for it. Someone close to her dies and all of those things, and she wants to, go against the tower. Come to find out, there are 7 different towers located in different major cities of the U.S., and they are all doing these crazy experiments on people, and mostly people of African descent, okay? And so her and her friends get together and they decide they're going to take down the tower. Well, that story was very interesting. It was just lacking something. Like I said, it just didn't give me what I needed, like Who Feared Death did, but I still would recommend it. Tell, I'm all for Okorafor's books right now, all for them. And since I might as well go ahead and talk about the next one that I read by her was Akata Witch. It's making its rounds on BookTube, on Instagram, because Akata Warrior, which is book 2, came out this month. I wanted to make sure I read Akata Witch, and I enjoyed it. Akata Witch follows Sunny, who is, I want to say, 9, 12 years old, preteen. And she born in America to Nigerian parents. They moved back to Nigeria. Sunny learns that she has these magical powers is what I'll call it. And she finds this out because of her classmates who have these same powers. And they form a group, and they are responsible for handling this person who is using his magical powers for evil. It was a nice action-packed fantasy. It was so many things in this book that I just absolutely enjoyed. She built a world that I just find really fascinating. I gave Akata Witch 4 stars, I want to say. I finished 4321 by Paul Auster. I gave that book 3 to 3.5 stars. It was a long book. I was going to give it its own video, but I just decided not to. If you are interested in my thoughts, I did put a little details about it on my Instagram. That's where I put it. So you can check out it. Next up is the autobiography of Gucci Mane. Now, I'm not a Gucci fan, but I was interested in this book because, one, how many trap rappers you know out here writing autobiographies? He's the only one that I know of. And he is originally from Bessemer, Alabama, which is only about 10-20 minutes outside of Birmingham. I actually currently work in Bessemer, so I know that area very well. And if you know who Gucci Mane is, or if you don't know, Gucci Mane is a rapper known for trap music, I think is what they mainly call it. And he's famous. He's been in and out of jail. That's what he is known for. In the book, he talked about his various stints in jail. One being the longest one was, I think, close to 3 years. Now he's out living his life, living well, got engaged. And I think he's about to have a show on BET surrounding his wedding. So I think it's cool. I like to see people come up. I like to see people bounce back. And I'm always here for, unlikely people writing books. He's someone that you never would have thought Gucci Mane would have wrote a book. And there is a co-author to the book, which was evident because if you heard Gucci talk, the writing in the book is how you would think Gucci talks. The next book I still have with me, and that is Where the Line Bleeds by Jesmyn Ward. If you saw on Instagram, I started seeing Unburied Scene, and it was on hold for someone else at the library, so I had to take it back. And when I took it back, I decided to pick up her older stuff. So I decided to start with the beginning, and that's this one. This is her debut novel. I gave this book 3.5 stars. What threw me off about the book, one of the summary in here, and it says, I'm going to read it. Twin brothers struggle with responsibilities of adulthood and family in the post-Katrina Mississippi Gulf Coast. Well, the story starts with the boys graduating high school, class of 2005. So it's around the start of summer. Katrina didn't happen until August 2005. And as you're reading the book, there's mentions, as you get to the end, there's mention of this storm coming, and I do believe Katrina is mentioned by name, but that was a bit misleading because it's not post-Katrina. Other than that, I've really enjoyed and loved the relationship of these two twin brothers. Their father is on drugs. Their mother left because they're in a small town on the coast of Mississippi. Their mother left when they were like 6 years old. She lives in Atlanta, so they're there with their partially blind grandmother, and they adore her. and she adores them, and she's pretty much their mother, you know. In our community, and I know down here in the South, probably not just in the South, grandmothers are raising a lot of grandchildren. What was disheartening about this book for me was when the boys graduated, it was really no talk of them going to college. Their only idea was to get a local job, maybe at a restaurant or maybe on the docks. And what causes the divide between the two brothers is one gets a job, the other one doesn't, and the other one starts to hustle, and it causes a rift in their relationship. But all in all, this was a really good book. I'm going to move on to her second book, which I believe is The Salvage of the Bones. I may be saying that wrong. But I'm going to work my way to Seeing Unburied Scenes so I can see how her writing progresses. Okay, this is getting kind of long, so let me go ahead and talk about the next book, A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. You all have seen this book everywhere, right? This was a Man Booker Prize in 2015 or 16. If you have watched any booktube in the last 2 years, you've seen this book, and it comes highly recommended. It only landed at about 2.5, 3 stars for me. I am fully aware of the brilliance it took to write a novel such as The Brief History of 7 Killings. That, you know, goes without saying. The way Marlon James was able to weave this story with so many characters, it was amazing to read in that aspect. What caused me to not give it a 4 or 5 stars was the fact that I personally just am not a fan of books that are what I guess disjointed. You read about one character and you're in their life, and then they don't show up for another 52, seems like 50 to 100 pages later. And then there are some characters that I could care absolutely less about, but I'm getting a lot about them. This book is good. It's just not for me. It's how I'll put it. And I saw just Juan Reader. I recently subscribed to his channel thanks to Thanks to Michael. And so I saw his video about it, and some of his thoughts and ideas on it was the same thoughts that I had, but like him, I went on ahead and finished the book. And I'm glad I did finish it. I'm sure it's worth the hype. It just wasn't my type of book. There was 6 books that I have read in the last about 2.5, 3 weeks. I'm doing pretty good. I should mention that I read Brief History of 7 Killing and 4321. Those were audiobooks. That's it for me in this video. I hope you all are having a great reading week, month, all of that good stuff. I am actually recording this video on Friday the 13th. Hopefully I get it up soon. This is Lady, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.